Before this video starts, I would just like to let you know that the next few videos that I do will not have my intro because at the minute I'm not in the house and I won't be able to edit them in today because this is an important reason, sort of. Anyways, enjoy the video. Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing another public transport video, but this time I will not be using Go North East, which can probably surprise you a little bit. I'm going to be doing it on the Tynemouth Metro, because today is the 11th of August 2023, which marks 43 years of the Tynemouth Metro. So I'm just going to go around, go through as many secrets as I can, even though a lot of people have already done that. And we're just going to ride the network, and I'll be telling you a lot of secrets. And sorry if sorry if I'm getting on your nerves. It's just this hasn't been scripted. I just realised today that it was the Metro's 43rd anniversary. I could wait till the 45th, but no, can't be bothered. Anyways, this is the map of the Tynemouth Metro. Right now we are at Tynemouth, which opened with the extension in 1980. And this first part is going to be from here down to Heworth. "43 years ago, the Tynemouth Metro became a thing. And this station we're at right now is Tynemouth. It opened with the extension, and this is where the line originally used to terminate. The yellow line, obviously. This station is very popular on the weekend because there's usually a market, but today is Friday, so the market's not on. The station has also got abandoned platforms. It only has a platform 2 and a platform 1. Unlike many of the other stations, Tynemouth hasn't got the signs painted black. You can tell the station's really old because it has a wooden footbridge. Most of the other ones don't have this. So what I'm going to do now is go get the train and head to wherever we end up next. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I don't know why the signs are in yellow, because in 2013 they started to refurb most of these stations, changing the signs from being yellow to black. Tynemouth is one of the few stations to keep this. The other few that I can think of that still have this are Whitley Bay and Monkseaton. We'll get to those two in a bit. You may have also noticed that on the edge of the platforms it says "Mind the Gap." It's also got that on the announcement on the South Shields ones. For the St James ones, it doesn't have it. I don't know if I've already mentioned this, but not all of the stations will be featured. I'm only going to be talking about the ones that I think matter the most. And before I get the train, I would just like to mention that I've just found a poster for the SpongeBob musical. The next station we're going to be having a look at is Whitley Bay. I didn't get off at colour code because there's not much to say about that. But Whitley Bay has a different backstory. Like Tynemouth, it has the yellow signs. I don't know why they didn't change it to black, but still, I think it looks a lot better like this. The roof is in not the best condition because of, I think it was a hailstorm that happened in early 2023. But because of this, look, the stairs are completely ruined. The toilets can't be used. And there's quite a lot of fences around here. But at least the station is back in public service. This is another station where you can change for the coast, One thing I like about the station is that most of it is the colour blue. I actually think it looks really, really nice with all the blue. This is probably the reason why they didn't refurb it. That's just a rumour. The good news is there's still a footbridge here, which is good. This isn't close to the beach at Whitley Bay, this is more close to the town centre. And another reason you can tell this has had wear and tear because of that storm or whatever it was, there's still some green net. That's all I have to say about this, so I'm just going to head back down, and then I'm going to get another metro, and now I'm going to head to Monkseaton, which is another unique one.
Yeah, there was like 3-4 rows of French people, and then there was like 3 rows of nothing, just me in the corner. Yeah, she was
We made it to Monkseaton, which is another very old station, because it's got these. These are ticket windows when it was a British rail station. One thing I like about it is, like, this is platform 2, and as you can see, it's an old building. The only things metro-y I can say about these are the signs, which are again in yellow. And for platform 1, they've just built an entirely new one. This is one of the very few platforms in this style to still have the yellow signs. This is definitely a brilliant station. I like the ones with the yellow signs. It makes it feel more, well, nostalgic. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head back over to that platform to head over to West Monkseaton. And also, there used to be a peak service running at Peelaw, which doesn't really run that often anymore. Oh, and they've also started to put these not big, not clever, not here, posters at the stations. Most of the coast ones are really nice because they've got lots of the original features from when there were British rail stations. For example, there's this, Whitley Bay in Tynemouth, which we've just seen. This has to be, I can't tell if this is my favourite or Tynemouth is. It doesn't matter. They've both got the yellow signs anyway, so it doesn't matter. My favourite part about Monkseaton is platform 1, where I'm heading to now. And I've also just noticed it's got 2 moulds for this sign at the station. I have got no idea why. And it's also the closest station to Whitley Bay ice rink. Now we are at another gorgeous station, West Monkseaton, which has quite a lot of Art Deco features. If you don't know what I mean, it's got these different coloured glass stains, whatever they are, for windows. It's a little bit like Art Deco. It's got black signs because it was refurbished in 2013. One thing I don't like about some of these stations is this is exclusive to the yellow line, and yet it says Sunderland, South Hilton. That's only for the green line. And also, that window over there, well, it's not a window, it's a mirror. It's kind of got a bit of a bent in it. And there's a good shot of platform 2. You can see the black signs because I just said it was refurbed. It's got this really nice cyanish, bluish, greenish coloured fence on where the ramp is. There isn't that much to say about this, but other than that, it's a gorgeous one. It's not really one of my personal favourites, but it's decent. Okay guys, I'm now inside a lift at one of the stations. And that station is Northumberland Park. Again, it has the black signs because it was refurbed. This one's a little bit unique. Let me just get my camera to focus and I'll explain why. There we go. So, Northumberland Park is a little bit of a unique one. It opened in 2005 and it has its own little interchange right outside it. If the 19 was still going northeast, I would have used it, but unfortunately it's not. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to hear me because of the wind, but Northumberland Park didn't open with the original extension. As I said, it opened in 2005. It's soon going to be a national rail station, but that's not going to be until 2024. Down there's a poster for Peter Rabbit 2, I don't know why that's still there. Here's the small interchange where the 19 stops, that used to be going northeast. And now it's Gateshead taxis. Once again, they have stole that away from a company that I usually use. Oh, look at that. Pigeons. I'm about to head back down to get the next train. But I'm actually quite excited to see where the National Rail Station's going to be. Which means that the map will be updated. Take a look at Heworth here. It's got park and ride, like Northumberland Park. Buses, like Northumberland Park. But soon, Northumberland Park will be the second to have 3 of these symbols. The first being Heworth, which we will get to later. There's not really much to talk about when it comes to this station, Palmersville. I won't be jumping off it, but I would just like to mention a couple of things about the station. It opened in 1986. Again, it's not part of the original. And sometimes the announcements for trains arriving can be quite low. It still deserved to get this spot because it had a little bit of a history. Another thing I'd like to mention is the metro cars themselves. They've been in operation since the start, but around 2011 they were given next stop announcements. There's also 2 metro cars in the whole fleet that have female announcements. And the 2 prototype ones have been withdrawn. And another thing about them is that there's only 2 left in service with the old interiors. Those being 4083 and 4040. The metro cars I've jumped off are 4066 and 4068. They have the male announcements and they have the new interior. I've just jumped off at another station which refers back to a different coloured line for the metro, and that is Benton. Benton was a termination point on the metro not a couple of years after the metro first opened. It's also got this really lovely artwork. I can't believe I've never noticed that before. It's really sweet. Anyways, back in the day there used to be a red and blue line for the metro. The red line terminated here at Benton and went up to Pelaw. Another thing I would like to mention is that one of the one of these bricks on the footbridge is a bit of a yellowish colour. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. It's also got lifts, which I kind of hope are working. I don't really think they are working because they've been off for quite a while. Look at that, there's still a yellow sign. Wow, I never noticed that. Yeah. For many, many months, the lift here hasn't been working, which means you can only use the stairs. Well, I don't know how long this has been, but I can tell you it was over a few months. So now I'm just going to wait to get the train up to the next station, 4 Lane Ends. From here onward, we'll be talking about every single station up to Heworth. Another thing I would like to mention is the Metro uses 2 versions of the map. You can tell which ones are different because one version has travel line on it. And over here we have Felgate and East Bolton, which both have the park and ride symbol. But when we go over to the timetable and perhaps the one on the website and North Shields and South Shields and Gateshead Stadium, travel line is gone and Felgate and East Bolton don't have anything about them. Even though I know for a fact East Bolton definitely has a car park. And my camera is not focusing, but these Metro cars will be withdrawn by the start of 2024. They're going to be replaced by new class 555s. I'll show them in part 2. Now I am at 4 Lane Ends, which is the first interchange, which we are going to be having a look at. It opened in 1980 with the rest, and I think it was the first bus interchange which wasn't underground, if you're not counting Haymarket, which we'll get to later on. It's got a very, very nice interior. It's got the yellow signs. All the ones in this style and underground have this. Oh, look at that. It says The Coast on that one there. It's very hard to say, but if I just try to zoom in. Yep. And we've got another sign next to it. I don't like the Sunderland circle I'm on. It's not because of the football team, no, it's because of the yellow line only coming here. This is one of my favourites as well. Most of the ones that looks like this are really, really lovely. I'm talking Heworth, this one, and Region Centre, and Biker. Here we are at the bus interchange, or if you want to call it, 4 Lane Ends interchange, which is served by buses from Arriva, Gateshead Central Taxis and Stagecoach, and soon, once again, Go North East. Go North East are introducing some new services. This is going to be the bus stop where Go North East's new services in 352 and 355 will stop. I'm assuming because Arriva 55 and 52 stop here. So you'll probably see quite a lot of Go North East videos here in the next month or 2. This reminds me of Gateshead Interchange in a lot of ways. I like the floor because it feels very Gateshead-ish. There's the classic 1980s Metro logo. There's the Metro sign. And I think Gateshead kind of copied its look, sort of. That was unique, different style font. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to head back down. Most of these, some of these interchanges look the same, not gonna lie.
Doors opening. Doors closing.
I've managed to get myself a good metro car. 4073.
The next station, Longbenton.
Here is 4073 with 48, no not 48.3, 4043. I was on 4073 because I had the female announcements. Anyways, I'm now at Longbenton, the end of the yellow line. And then we interwork with the green line. There isn't that much to talk about this one either, but there's a little bit more than what I was saying earlier. Here's a good start. It doesn't have Sunderland or South Hilton on there, so they definitely got that correct. Oh, they have it over there. It's got an advertisement for the Freeman Hospital, which is a couple minutes walk away. Here's some connections for local bus services to walk. Go North East will be serving here, although not exactly here. If we go up here, this is the footbridge. When I first discovered this footbridge, I was a bit scared in case it was like an office or something like that. One thing about the footbridge is that it's got different coloured tiles on the inside, which I think is extremely cool. It's even got some here at platform 1. It's even got the sign about something called Tag Tilly Longbenton. I take it that is the artwork. It's actually quite nice, especially for a station that's not really... Wow, it's like I've just had more to say about the station than I usually do. But there's something else I want to talk about. Longbenton has this. It's basically the big fonts on the wall panels, a bit like the underground stations. I've got no idea why it's got that, but it feels like an underground station in that section. Another thing I would like to say, it's got another footbridge. It's got like this spiralish one. See, look at the stairs. That's a cool entryway. Now I'm gonna head over back to platform 1. Quite old as well. I kind of forgot to mention that. Over there was a bus stop where a Go North East service that's coming out soon will be operating. Down there is South Gosforth Metro. That's right, we are at South Gosforth. There's a Reaver service at 553 going to Battle Hill. Just above the station is Metro Control, because South Gosforth is home to Metro Control. Let me just switch back to platform 1 so I can talk about it properly. You often see drivers getting on and off. This is also the section on the route where we meet the Green Line. That takes people to Sunderland, Airport, Kingston Park, some parts of South Tyneside, Gateshead, Newcastle upon Tyne. Which means trains are going to be extremely frequent. South Gosforth is also the nearest station to the metro depot, which we will see in the next part. Anyways, my train's going to be due because it's going to be a really good frequency. And also, the yellow line usually turns right while the green line turns left. We'll get to the airport to South Shields section in the next video.
Next station is Ilford Road.
We have arrived at Ilford Road, which, if you can't walk very far, I don't recommend you should jump off at this station. There isn't a footbridge here. I'm going to show you the proof. As you can see, there is a ramp, and I was just at the ramp on this platform, and if we just go over here, I'm going to zoom in. That's the closest bridge, and it's a road bridge as well. You have to walk all the way from here up to there. That would take quite a while, but it's the closest one there. Shame there isn't actually a footbridge here. Ah well, I better wait for the next train, which will be due in a few minutes. Oh, and also, Ilford Road's got a really strange map. It's got a really weird looking metro logo. It has the park and ride for Felgate and East Bolden, and there's no travel line. This one is very strange. Although saying that, it's got the travel line one on the other side. Now we've arrived at the final surface station we're going to take a look at on the 1980 section. It's West Jesmond. It's the last surface station that I'll be looking at, which opened in 1980. Because the only ones we're going to be looking at after this will be Gateshead Stadium, Felling and Heworth. They opened in 1981. There's actually two ways to switch platforms at this station. One way is through this subway tunnel. I really like it down the subway one because it feels old. And I like the colour inside it as well. It feels extremely unique. I don't even mind that it's got South Shields, Sunderland, South Hilton, because we're on the section where the lines both meet. We've also got a footbridge to get us up as well. So that's one thing, you know, you can go two different ways when you're at West Jesmond. I personally like to go through the subway tunnel because, well, sorry guys, I'm losing my words. Let's just say that because I said earlier in the video I didn't have a script, so yeah. It's just, I feel like it's a lot more better for me personally. I feel like it's a lot more quicker, which I'm not gonna lie, it's probably true, and it saves off a good amount of energy. The outside of it is mainly bricks. I actually like it looking like this. It feels more like an ancient station. It doesn't feel as metro-y. It only feels metro-y because it has the metro sign and it's a metro station. Anyways, let's move on to the next station, which will be the first underground one. Now I've just got off at Jesmond. You guys can literally see the surface from there, but if you look over there, it just goes into complete darkness. And you're probably asking, how come Jesmond is underground? Well, it has this. That font I was talking about. It's also got a little bit of abandonment to it as well. There's some more coloured artwork. It looks quite similar to the one at West Monkseaton and Longbenton. Up here it's surface, but down here it's underground. It's a little bit like a mishmash. So we've just came out of Jesmond because we've got some old abandonments that we need to take a look at. Something which I don't think happened before the station was built. So we've just exited it out there, and then we've got to walk through this passageway which has unique artwork. There's some black railing over here, so if we just exit here and come to that black railing, down here are the platforms of the former Jesmond station. I don't know if it was ever part of the metro. If it is, I wonder when it was in service. It's like the beginning of the Madison Loop. And here is the carriage, which is a railway themed restaurant where you can dine in a railway coach, which has got the same colours as Old Slow Coach from Thomas & Friends. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if I can try and get back into the metro station. If I miss the metro, I'll probably get the Q3 down to city centre. There's 5804 on the Q3 to Great Park. I'm going to get the metro back because I can't track where the Q3 is at the minute. There's 4081, the other female announcement metro car. This is literally the furthest underground I can go. I'm at Haymarket, which is the deepest station on the network. This is where the original line terminated. It opened in 1980. There's the escalators. It got rebuilt in 2006, and this is what it looks like now. And platform 2 is extremely long. And trains, like this one that's about to come now, usually stop at the front, never the back.
The next train at platform 2 is for the coast.
The trains usually stop all the way there. They don't stop here at the back because reasons I don't know.
Platform 2 is for the coast.
The announcements here are extremely loud. You can fit 2 full sets, which is actually quite brilliant. It used to look a little bit more like Jesmond, but in 2006 they gave it a brand new rebuild with a brand new screen, which I'm going to show you at platform 1. And also, the platform 1 screen has a crack. Now we have turned up at Monument, which is the busiest city centre station. This was built for Newcastle city centre and is built right underneath Gray's Monument. And one funny thing about it is, not only is it the first station to open on the 1981 Heworth extension, but it has 4 platforms. Here's platform 4, which is only for St James. This, as well as platform 3, were built in 1982. It's got a very similar interior as Jesmond. Platform 3 is over there. It's got a green sign for alternative access to platform 1 and platform 2 via the stairs or the lift, which I'm going to be taking. It's got the same lift as Northumberland Park. And here are platform 1 and platform 2, which were built in 1981, along with the Heworth extension. There's also an escalator way for both of them. Gray's Monument had to be built with new underground platforms for Monument Station. They had to literally pull Gray's Monument out of the ground so that they could put the platforms for this station inside. And because there are 2 sets of twin tracks, it means there are 2 accesses to get to St James. You could just change and go platform 4, or you could go the long way round via the coast. Central Station has suffered a similar fate as Haymarket. It looks quite similar to it, except it's got blue panels in here instead of black. This station was refurbished in around 2014-2015. Let's just say the mid-2010s. And they gave it a lot of things that they gave to Haymarket. Like a brand new set of lights, different styled roof, louder announcements. They kept the panels on the sides, and it's also got the same screen as Haymarket. It's one of the 4 stations currently to have a national rail station. The other ones being Manners, Heworth, Sunderland, and this one, and soon to be Northumberland Park. What I like about this one is it's a lot more straight. There's construction going on with the lift due to modernisation work. I think they did a lot better on this than they did at Haymarket. This is a lot better than Haymarket. It originally opened in 1981. I don't know if they've changed the map in here or not. I'm just going to go and see if I can find one. The escalators are actually really nice. A lot better than Haymarket, which is more scarier and more deeper. Wow. This station doesn't really have a metro map. So, this is like one of the first metro stations I've come across that doesn't have a map. Anyways, I'm gonna go back down and head over the Tyne. Okay, I take it back. There is one, and it's the travel line one. Between Central and Gateshead, we cross along the Queen Elizabeth II Bridge, where we cross the River Tyne and enter Gateshead Town Centre. Gateshead is another it's another underground station, and it's also another interchange. It opened in 1981, and there isn't that much to say about it other than it's got unique red tiles. It's also got a little bit of artwork up here, and it's got some more artwork over here. And this is also where the finale of the Tynemouth Metro musical happened. This is the station that was used in the last shot. The interior is very similar to Monument and Jesmond, except it's now got green fonting on the wall, very similar to Haymarket prior to 2006. Gateshead was also built underneath an old quarry, and it was also the last underground station that we visited today. We are now at a station which almost existed, sort of. Gateshead Stadium. Gateshead Stadium was actually going to be called Old Fold. It's a surface station, the first surface station to open on the 1981 Heworth extension. And there isn't that much to say about it. And there's a National Rail train. I'm assuming that came from Heworth. Gateshead Stadium really should have just been called Old Fold, because it's not close to the actual Gateshead Stadium, which is Gateshead FC's home ground. It's actually more slightly closer to Old Fold. If it was called Old Fold, the name would make a lot more sense. It's also got the current map that is used on the timetables, because Park and Ride is not present on Felgate and East Bolden. I don't know why it's got this version, but I'm not a big fan of it. And also, at Pallion, you can see there's a bird mark.
33 minutes on the board.
Okay guys, we have made it to Felling. There isn't that much to say about the station. There is a couple of things, but not much. One thing I would like to say personally about it is, I like how it was built. It's also got a dark green footbridge, which is actually quite unique. It looks very similar to Pelaw, which I'll probably go to in the next part. I don't have time to do part 2 and part 3 today. I'll probably do them some other time. So if we just come this way towards Old Fold, there's actually something very special about Felling. And that is that there is a signal box over there, which was originally part of the Brandling Junction Railway. And it's not used anymore for some reason. Did you really think this was the end of the video? There's one more metro station. Before I check times for the metro, I'm actually going to go and see which time the 27 is due. Let's go northeast. Okay guys, I'm going to get the 27, the Jarrow Peak service, which I'll not be recording. Well, that was a good run on 6004. And we've made it to the end of the line, well, end of the line, Heworth. This is Punky Stuff's local metro station, as well as mine and P-Law. This is where the line used to terminate in 1981. This was an exit to the National Rail Station, I believe. It only says South Shields up there for some reason. I don't know why it says that. I think it's because of the South Shields extension from 1984. It's got this style, like 4-lane ends, but when it comes out here, it's on the surface. And I like the stations that look like this. Biker and Chichester have something very similar to this. There are the stairs to the National Rail Station, which is behind there. The escalators there, as well as the lifts. It's also got Great North Forest signs as well. I believe it's had those since the 2000s or the 2010s. It's also got these Art on Metro posters, which I believe are outside the interchange. There's some more artwork. Don't worry, I have a ticket. Now if we just come outside here for a minute, here's more stands. Stand X, that used to be where the Connections 4 stopped. Now I'm out here because I need to get a Go North East bus and go home. There's the National Rail Station, which is absolutely quiet. This is regularly served by diesel buses, no, diesel trains from Northern. Taking you to Sunderland and Hartlepool. I don't know exactly where it all goes, but that's just a glimpse of it. And now I've got to go home. So that was the first part of Secrets of the Tynemouth Metro. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next few days when I upload parts 2 and 3, which will be coming out very soon. So now I've got to go on stand to get the bus home. See you soon.